Question 21. Simplify a squared minus 4 over a squared minus a minus 6. Solution. You need to factorize both the numerator and denominator. Numerator is by difference of two squares, and you have this result. If you look for two factors of 6, that the sum is minus 1 in A and the product is minus 6, you have minus 3 plus 2, which you express in terms of A and replace the middle term with them. If you group the terms in twos, you have this result. You factor out common terms from the two brackets, you have this result and this. From here, this, we cancel this, you are left with a minus 2 over a minus 3. The correct option is E. Question 22. Given the quadratic equation 3s squared minus 5s equal to minus 2, find the product of roots. Here, you are supposed to factorize the equation or solve using any other method. Then you multiply the two roots together. But there is a simple rule of C over A that is the same as the product of roots. So the given equation, you need to rearrange it to give this. To apply the rule, the right hand side needs to be 0. So minus 2 is moved inside. After putting it in this form, A is coefficient of s squared, that is 3. B is coefficient of s, that is minus 5. C is the constant term, that is 2. Therefore, product of roots, that is C over A, is simply equal to 2 over 3. The correct option is A. Question 23. Simplify m squared plus m over n, bracket open, m plus 1, bracket close, bracket open again, m plus 2, bracket close. Solution. The denominator is already in simpler form. All we need is simplify the numerator by factoring out m. You have this result. M cancel m, m plus 1 cancel m plus 1. You are left with 1 over m plus 2. The correct option is C. Use the truth table below to answer questions 24 and 25. Question 24. Which of the following symbolic statements illustrates S? This is S. If you check S very well, the outcome for S is true when both P and Q are true, and that only happens in conjunction connective, that is and. So you have P and Q. The correct option is A. The next question 25. Which of the following symbolic statements illustrate Y? Now check Y. For Y, the outcome is false when both P and Q are false. That only happens in disjunction connective, that is all. So the correct option is C, P or Q. Question 26. The perimeter of a rectangle is 44 cm and its area is 120 square centimeters. Find the dimensions of the rectangle. That is, you should find the length and the breadth. So let's start with the perimeter. The formula is this: the length and the breadth are unknown, but the perimeter is 44, equal to the right hand side. Divide through by 2. You have 22 equal to length times breadth. You call that equation 1. Area of a rectangle is this. The area is 120 centimeters, equal to LB. You call that equation 2. Now, equation 2 is non-linear. And as such, we have linear and non-linear equations. Full stop. When you are to solve linear and non-linear equations simultaneously, the best approach is to use the method of substitution, and you start with the linear equation. Equation 1, you make any of the variable the subject, and you put that resulting equation in equation 2 and continue with the solving process. Starting from equation 1, you have in this form. You make the length the subject. You have to transfer the breadth to the left hand side. You have this as equation 3. Equation 1 produced 3. To continue, you need to substitute equation 3 into equation 2. This is equation 2. Where you see L, you replace it with equation 3, you have this result. If you open the bracket, you have this result. If you rearrange by transferring all the terms from the right to left, you have this result equal to 0. So we have a quadratic equation. Let us solve by factorizing. To factorize, look for two factors of 120 such that their sum is minus 22 and their product is plus 120. The factors must be minus 12 minus 10. You express them in terms of B and replace the middle term with them. Next thing is to group the terms in twos, because that is the purpose of making the equation to be 4 terms. You factor out the common terms in each bracket. You have this result and this result. You equate each factor to 0, and B is equal to 12 or 10. Back to equation 3 so that you can get the length. This is equation 3. When the breadth is equal to 10, the length is 22 minus 10, that is 12. You have the first set of results. The length is 12, the breadth is 10. When B is equal to 12, L becomes 22 minus 12, that is 10. You have this set of results. But you should know that the length is always longer. So the dimensions are length, breadth, that is 12 meters, 10 meters. The correct option is B. Question 27. Find the values of s in the equation 3s squared minus 8s minus 3 equal to 0. Let us solve by factorizing. This is the given equation. If you compare it with the general quadratic equation, you can see that a is equal to 3, coefficient of s squared. B is equal to minus 8, coefficient of s. C is equal to minus 3, the constant term. And anytime a is not equal to 1, you need to get AC. So AC is minus 9. Now your attention must shift from C to AC. So you get two factors of 9 that the sum is minus 8 in S and the product is minus 9. Such factors are minus 9 plus 1 in S. So you express the factors in terms of S and replace the middle term with them. The purpose is to get 4 terms so that you factorize by grouping. From each group, you factor out the common terms, you have this result and this result. If you equate each factor to 0, you have s equal to 3 or 3s equal to minus 1, which implies s is equal to minus 1 over 3. Therefore, s is equal to minus 1 over 3 or 3. The correct option is D. Question 28. Factorize 5y squared plus 2ay minus 3a squared. Solution. Let us write the general quadratic equation in this form. Before now, the constants are always a, b, c, but because we have a here, to avoid confusion, I'm using p, q arrow, and the variable is y. So when you compare, p is equal to 5, coefficient of y squared, q is 2a, coefficient of y, and arrow is minus 3a squared, the constant term. A is not equal to 1. Sorry, p is not equal to 1. You need to get AC, which is now p arrow, and that is minus 15a squared. Now you get two factors of 15 such that the sum is 2 and the product is minus 15. Mind you, a is included in those factors. So such factors are plus 5a minus 3a. You express the factors in terms of y and replace the middle term with them in this form. The purpose is to have 4 terms so that you factorize by grouping. If you factor out the common terms in each group, you have this result and this result. The correct option is D. Question 29. Evaluate sy squared minus z squared over 2yz plus s squared over 2y plus z when s equal to 2, y equal to minus 3, z equal to minus 2. You write the given expression and you replace s, y, and z with what they stand for in this form. So if you simplify, you have this result and this result. You know that plus against minus becomes minus. So here you reduce by 2, you reduce by 4, and you have this result. If you find the LCM and simplify, you have this. When reduced, you have 2 over 3. The correct option is B. Question 30. Let P such that I pass mathematics. That is it's a simple statement. Q such that I pass physics. Conclusion. I pass mathematics if and only if I pass physics. Translate the conclusion into symbol. This statement, if and only if, is biconditional or by implication, and the symbol for it is two-head arrow. It can be one line or two lines. So by this, the correct option is C. I pass mathematics if and only if I pass physics.